Back in 2004, Acura introduced to the US their best-selling models, the TSX and the TL. The TSX was an all-new model for the brand, while the TL had morphed into its third generation. Both vehicles instantly took the marketplace by storm, with the TL even becoming the best-selling luxury sedan in America. Ever since their 2009 makeover, these vehicles never quite hit the stratospheric high in terms of sales that their predecessors did. So what gives? Most people would blame the controversial styling that Acura introduced on their newer models. So last year, Acura refreshed the TL and gave it a much softer, less harsh look. Sales improved. Now with an all-new model set to debut next year, is there still a reason to visit your local Acura dealer today? Let's find out. Now the 4th generation TL has actually been out for a few years now, and I gotta tell you, when this car first came out in 2009, I hated the design of it. However, this refreshed 2013 model is starting to grow on me. The car has a really sleek appearance to it, and it's definitely, in terms of right now, it's not the oldest Japanese luxury sports sedan on the market. That title goes to the Infiniti G37. Anyways, TLs, or Acuras in general, are built relatively simple. Just like Hondas, you essentially buy the vehicle in trim levels. This one is the super handling all-wheel drive with the advanced package. There are two packages you can choose. There's the tech package and the advanced package. And then there's also a base package that doesn't come with nav. The tech package essentially includes navigation, while the advanced package gives you these gorgeous looking 19-inch wheels and the blind spot information. That was new for 2012. If you find a TL of this generation before 2012, there was no advanced package. Tech package was the highest. Now, this particular color is the Crystal Black Pearl. It's actually a Honda color. It looks really good, especially with these 19-inch wheels and the contrast. Tinting the windows would probably make the vehicle look even better. One styling element that I noticed that Acura did for 2012 is the super handling all-wheel drive models used to have the quad outlet exhaust. They've actually gone back to just a single dual outlet. It's kind of a weird omission. You can see in terms of the styling of this vehicle, the front end pretty much had like a rhinoplasty. The grille got much smaller. The headlights got a blacked out accent. In terms of the grille, that's one area where they just needed to improve. They made the grille a lot smaller. Now the TL, because this is an advanced package, it comes standard with their smart access system. That's included with the technology package. So to lock the door, just push this button right here. That locks the doors. This is the newer system, so to unlock it, just come here and touch it, and it unlocks the doors for you. Now looking at the interior of the TL, compared to the TSX, this vehicle feels much more spacious. You can see the interior styling differs from the TSX in terms of the way it looks. This car has more of a high-tech luxury feel, while the TSX kind of feels more entry-level premium. You can see there's a red push-button start right there. The TSX doesn't even offer keyless access, so basically just put your foot on the brake and push the button to start the engine. You can see the gauges in the vehicle. You look pretty familiar. Acura has been using this style of gauges. They've always been simple and clean to look at. The windows are automatic up-down for the driver and the front passenger. I kind of think that they should have done all four. It's kind of weird to me that they don't have it. You can see this one has the advanced package, which basically includes the tech package. It's got this huge 8-inch screen, which actually it is pretty big, but honestly other luxury cars give you a little bit bigger of a screen. It does integrate this little backup camera, which trajectory, with some distance markers, but no trajectory. It's kind of a silly omission. The new Accord's backup camera has the trajectory now. Looking at the interior here, you have this silver painted, carbon fiber looking alloy look plastic. It looks cool, it looks really high quality, but it kind of feels a little cheap. The fit and finish here though is exquisite. You have these really nice soft touch materials on the dashboard, soft touch glove box right here. It's even soft touch when it comes down over here. This whole instrument panel lid here is pretty much soft touch. And if you come to the door panels here, same soft touch materials that's on the dash. The alloy look plastic here. And then this door handle is actually metal. It's actually cold, so that's a really nice detail. It's all, stitched here with color accented stitching here. It all just looks really nice. The interior of this vehicle definitely screams that it's way more expensive than a TSX. Looking at the steering wheel, it's got a really fat bolstering extension, really nice contrasting stitching. It feels really good in your hands. The leather also feels really soft. Of course, with Acuras, their biggest controversy are the buttons. There's a lot of buttons on the steering wheel. There's a lot of buttons on the center stack here. It can be daunting at first, but once you get used to it, it's actually pretty logically laid out. You have climate control on the outer portions, audio controls are right here, and then your nav controls right here. I mean, at a glance, you're going to have to kind of study it, but eventually this will, all become familiar to you. This one does have the ELS audio system, which is basically 440 watts, 10 speakers. You have 2 screens. This one will display audio information, and then you have another tiny screen right here which displays your clock, everything. I do like this layout. I do think that Acura is probably going to move to their dual screen system that the RLX has, but if you guys are prefer this is the last year you can get it. Now, a 6-speed automatic was new for 2012, finally replacing the dated 5-speed auto. It does give you a sport mode. It gives you the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. It makes for a very nice sporty driving experience. You can see here this one has the heated and cooled seats. That's given to you with the advanced package as well as the blind spot information. You can see here this cup holder lid is very sturdy. Feels really nice. Big, large cup holders. There's a little bit of storage right here. You can put your cell phone there nicely. And if you look in the center console here, your USB, your iPod jack, your power ports all in there. The glove compartment itself is very large. It's got 2 tiers of storage. You can actually access the trunk and keyless access switch from there, and it's lined in felt. Overall, the interior of this vehicle screams, luxury, versus where the TSX, the main difference is the TSX kind of screams entry-level, premium. Now, the back seat of the TL is also extremely roomy for the class. The TSX has a really tiny back seat compared to the TL. And, stepping inside, even comparing the TLs to its main competitors, like the Audi A4, the G37, the TL's backseat is roomy, and the vehicle just gives you a big feeling of space. This vehicle is really wide. You can see the seats themselves could fit 3 across. However, this hump right here will take up in your space. You get vents back here. You get an armrest. These headrests actually fold to, get out of the way. You just push this button here and they'll fold down. So that's really nice. It doesn't block your visibility. Coming to the door panels in the rear seat, it's the same high quality stuff that's from the front seat. Same, alloy door handle here, contrasting stitching and leather stitch right here. The interior here is just very nice. I'm not gonna be able to stress that enough. Now, the trunk of the TL is on the smaller side in terms of the class. It's got a pretty high liftover height because of that shape in the back. And you can see the all-wheel drive model has less cargo space than the front drive models. The seats don't fold down, but they do give you a nice pass-through. You're looking at about under 13 cubic feet here. The all-wheel drive system components take up space. At least the hinges don't crush your cargo because they're lined here. But overall, the trunk of the TL could be better. Now, coming under the hood of the TL, you kind of have a conventional motor going on here, somewhat. This is Acura's largest 3.7-liter V6 engine with VTEC. It's got VTEC on the intake and exhaust cams. There's no direct injection. It's still single overhead cam. Here are the numbers: 305 horsepower and 273 foot-pounds of torque. This is labeled as the most powerful engine that Acura has ever built, at least until the new direct injection 3.5-liter comes out. Paired with the 6-speed automatic, there is a 6-speed manual available on the all-wheel drive models only. But since I don't have that, let's take a look at how this combination drives. MPG has 1826 with the all-wheel drive model. So I've shown you guys how a front-wheel drive version of this current generation TL is driven. So let's take a look and see how the all-wheel drive model differs from that. I still love the way that 3.7 sounds at startup. Honda V6s always sound really nice to me. Now, in terms of, how it feels compared to the front-wheel drive model, the all-wheel drive model feels heavier, and it is heavier. It's heavier by about 300 pounds, which is slightly the reason why Acura uses a larger 3.7 V6 versus the front drive model's 3.5. Now, Acura's all-wheel drive system is the best in the business for several reasons. Torque vectoring all-wheel drive system. That's why they call it super handling all-wheel drive. It's got a little display right there where you can actually see where the torque is going. It's pretty cool to watch, actually. You can see the 6-speed automatic in this car has crisp and refined shifts, and it shifts very quickly. It's kind of, it shifts in the way that I'd like Infinity's, 7-speed auto to shift, but Acura does it in a better way. It just shifts much more refinedly, and the engine makes a really nice sound, even at high revs. It's the one thing I noticed about the, Acura's V6 versus Infinity's. Infinity's gives you a little bit more brutality. It's a lot faster, but Acura's is almost as quick, but it sounds a lot more quiet and refined. That's the one thing I like about it. Now, the steering in the TL, however, is not my favorite. I like the steering in the G more because, for one, it's a hydraulic power steering system. They did that for gas mileage. It's pretty light. It's too light for a sports sedan. It shouldn't be this light. And although it does give you, you know, pretty good road feel, or not feel, it's the precision. It changes directions with authority. I just think that it needs a little bit more heft for a sports sedan. I could forgive the front-wheel drive model for having a lighter steering. However, the all-wheel drive model, you know, because it is sport-tuned, it's more focused on sport, I think that they should have gone with a heavier steering feel. The ride in this vehicle is definitely affected from these 19-inch wheels. It's still comfortable. I definitely think that if you guys are looking for a little bit of a softer ride, you got to go for the 18-inch wheels that are on the tech package models, or if you go for the front drive model, it'll have a smoother ride than the 19s on this particular model. Now, 19-inch wheels are huge, so the turning radius is affected. This car doesn't exactly make U-turns with that much precision. But you can see here, the power is just fantastic. I love revving out this V6 to near its red line. It feels really potent and it's really smooth. Acura just really knows how to make a good V6. Now, the main new option for the advanced package TL is their blind spot information. It's a little different than the blind spot information that's in the new 13 Accord. Instead of a camera that's mounted under the rearview mirror, it uses radar sensors in the rear bumpers of the TL to sense when there's a vehicle in this place, and there's a little light that lights up whenever someone's in your blind spot that will light up when they're actually in there, and then if you try to signal when they're still in your blind spot, it'll blink at you. It's a pretty nice system, and it's on both sides of the vehicle as opposed to the Accords where it's only on the passenger side. This vehicle does have a sport mode. It's got paddle shifters here behind the steering wheel, and it's pretty good to blip the throttle, typical Acura. I mean, I would probably play around with these occasionally. Most of the times I would just leave the transmission in its automatic mode because it shifts with intelligence. This thing doesn't exactly it's not easily confused like Infinity's 7-speed automatic. You know, surprisingly, torque is still a little bit soft on this vehicle at initial, you know, throttle tipping. Once you have to get the revs up a little bit, you know, typical of a Honda engine. So anyways, in terms of, you know, the sport luxury sedan market, where does the TL fall? In terms of price, this TL with advanced package is $46,000. That sounds like a lot of money, believe me, it does. However, you know, this is right about the same amount of money as a G37. Actually, it's a little bit more. A Lexus IS, however, is a lot more. That one's 50 grand fully loaded. A BMW, you know, 335i, that's 55,000 fully loaded. You have to keep in mind that this advanced package includes everything that the Germans would give you that you have to pay extra for, while Acura kind of just includes it in a tech package. That's one of the reasons why, you know, Acuras tend to have really good sales numbers, is their value quotient. If you need to buy a sports sedan right now, the TL is the newest Japanese sports sedan you can buy. The G37 and the IS are about to be replaced. The TL is also the roomiest in terms of, you know, the competition. You have to keep in mind, in terms of size, this competes with a 5 Series, but in terms of price, it's a 3 Series. So, you know, that's why the TL kind of falls under a niche, more of a niche category, because it's got the size of a 5 Series, but the price, actually a cheaper price than the 3 Series. So, you know, for 3 Series money, you get this car that has the most space, really, in its class. And that's the reason, one of the main selling points of the TL, I mean, this vehicle's width in general is the widest in class, which is why it's the roomiest. So anyways, if you guys are in the market for a brand new, you know, sport luxury sedan, and you're looking for the most spacious, the most refined, and you actually happen to like the style of this vehicle, I highly would recommend, you know, a 4th generation TL. The rebates and incentives are really great on the vehicle, and you know, it's still the freshest right now if you cannot wait until the new Q50 or IS comes out. But anyways, guys, hope you've enjoyed my overview of the 4th generation Acura TL. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you guys later.